The last photo of the Javan tiger, a now extinct species, 1938. Prisoners' shoes left at the site of the Butigichag camp in Kolyma, Russia, 1989. This is a wealthy family. 1910s, Liberia. In the 19th century, a movement arose in the U.S. to return freed African slaves to Liberia. Later, African Americans captured lands of indigenous tribes, enslaving them, and replicating the U.S. lifestyle became slaveholders. Cemetery of German soldiers who died near Moscow. The inscription on the plaque on the nearest cross reads, "They rushed to Moscow but ended up in a grave." Albanians stormed the cargo ship Vlora, demanding to be taken to neighboring Italy. Albania, August 1991. View of Pearl Harbor, Oahu Island, Hawaii, USA, December 7, 1941. 15th century underwear found during castle renovations in Lengberg, Austria, a sensational discovery in medieval fashion history. Anonymous nurse, New York, 1940s. A 32-year-old nurse strangled her lover, a doctor, with a silk belt during a BDSM session in an apartment. He had requested asphyxiation, but she overdid it out of jealousy, since the doctor was cheating on her. The court ruled it as an accident. Geishas were initially men called taikomochi. Until the 17th century, they served as jesters to Japanese feudal lords, but this job gradually lost popularity. The first female geisha appeared only in the mid-18th century. A settlement of poor people in Central Park, New York, 1932. This photo is a unique piece of history. It shows Geert Adriaens Boomgaard, the last living man who fought for French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte. Geert was born in 1788 and died in 1899 at the age of 110. A woman wanting but unable to buy a refrigerator. Sales closed for 5 years. Russia, 1990. People pose on a dead whale covered in graffiti, California, 1919. Japanese troops using POWs as target practice, 1942. View of the epicenter of a nuclear explosion 2 seconds after the blast. Kazakhstan, 1949. An Aboriginal man photographs his tribesmen on the northern coast of Queensland, Australia, 1929. In 1970, veterans tossed their military awards onto the steps of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., protesting under the banner, "We will not fight in the rich man's war." Parade of Hate. 50,000 Ku Klux Klan members in Washington, 1926. This is a dog named Leica, the first dog in space. There were no plans for her return to Earth, and she died in orbit in 1957. American and Mexican soldiers stand at the Arizona border before the Big Wall was built, 1915. The Endurance ship permanently trapped in Antarctic ice, 1915. In the past, smallpox marks on the face were considered an advantage when applying for a job. They indicated that the person had already recovered from the disease and would not infect their employer. Mona Lisa, being retrieved from a wartime hiding place, 1945, the painting was saved from Nazi looting. Annette Kellerman demonstrates a women's swimsuit in 1907. She would later be arrested for indecency. 1918, a subway train derailed in New York and crashed into a wall. About 100 people died. Subway drivers were on strike that day, and an inexperienced worker was put in charge of the train, exceeding the speed limit 5-fold on a curve. They each drank only 1 glass of beer. Belgium, 1971. The Tree of Death, one of the most infamous places. During World War II, the Nazis hanged partisans from this tree, and later partisans hung Nazi occupiers here. The librarian of the National Library of Calcutta divides books between India and Pakistan after the partition in 1947. Human Cannonball Act at a Carnival, Massachusetts, 1991. In ancient Rome, there was an interesting way for the people to fight for their rights: secession. This involved a mass exodus from the city with food supplies. This paralyzed the economy, and the patricians were forced to yield. A horrific experiment from 1970 to determine whether there was a link between smoking and cancer. Dina Sanachar, a real-life Mowgli, raised by wolves and found in 1872 in the jungles of India. A grim spectacle at a London fair. Black people are used as targets. England, 1975. A crowd of 300,000 gathered on Shanghai's waterfront to celebrate the new year. From the upper floors of a skyscraper, coupons resembling US dollars were thrown with the message, "Happy 2015," causing a stampede. 36 dead, 49 injured. China, 2014. A boy plays with a homemade toy truck made of wire. Maun, Botswana, 1974. Frederick Zugiba, an American pathologist, conducting research to understand how the crucifixion of Jesus Christ occurred, 1984. People avoided casual conversations and were unsocial long before smartphones. In 1950, the Guinness Book of Records named Klaus from San Francisco the fattest cat. At 8 years old, he weighed 40 pounds and had a 36-inch waist. Crime-fighting bicycle, 1948. It was equipped with 13 shotguns and rifles, 2 revolvers, 6 bayonets, and a flare gun. According to the 1897 census, only about 25% of the population of Russia had surnames. Also, many people didn't know their age. U.S. troops invaded Panama, allegedly to protect 35,000 American citizens, but in reality to overthrow the government and regain control of the Panama Canal. The photo shows fighting near the Ministry of Defense of Panama, 1989. Korean soldier Yang Kyung-jong, who fought for 3 armies during WBTO, Japan, the Soviet Union, and Germany. Kazakh girl in a wedding dress, Kazakhstan, 1898. Until the 1960s, Australian Aboriginals were considered animals, Australia, 1960s. A captured moth, New York, 1986. Jacob Miller was shot in the head in 1863 and walked away. The bullet remained in his skull for decades. Hillary Clinton listens as her husband denies his affair with Monica Lewinsky, 1998. The mummy of Ramses II, the pharaoh who ruled ancient Egypt from 1279 to 1213 BC. Armor of Ferdinand I and Holy Roman Emperor, 16th century. Hitler Rally, 1937. No gathering in human history had assembled as many people. A bullet-ridden pickup passes by a skeleton on the road, Somalia, 1992. One of the last Tasmanian Aborigines, wiped out by British settlers, 1869. On April 15, 1989, one of the most horrific tragedies in the history of English football occurred. 94 Liverpool fans were crushed to death and 766 others were injured at Hillsborough Stadium during an FA Cup semi-final match against Nottingham Forest. Monk Capistran Ferrito plays baseball with Harlem Boys, USA, 1965. Black prisoners carrying out disciplinary punishment, USA, 1937. In 1989, about 2 million people from Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania formed a human chain linking the three countries to show their desire to leave the Soviet Union. School children hide under desks during training on how to act. During an enemy air raid, USA, 1942. Priests consecrating ballistic missiles named Satan, Russia, 2022. Adolf Hitler accepts birthday congratulations from youngsters of the Hitler Youth, April 20th, 1945, Germany. 10 days later, Hitler would be gone after realizing the war was lost. A 35-year-old peasant in the first half of the 20th century. The fattest man in the world. This is what a freak show poster claimed in 1890. Interestingly, in our time, this is a quite common physique. 17th century England saw the fashion for plunging necklines and aristocratic pallor. The visible vascular pattern on the skin was considered beautiful, leading women to frequently use a blue pencil to draw veins onto their skin. A test of the strength of a pipe with the inventor inside, Canada, 1920. In case of injury or death from bombing, to identify a young lady's identity, a tattoo artist applied her social security number on one leg and her address on the other. Britain, 1942. Price controls in Nazi Germany, 1935. Store closed by police for excessively high prices. Store owner sent for re-education in Dachau. In the USSR, a tax on childlessness existed from November 1941, which amounted to 6% of the salary. Peaky Blinders, members of the gang that terrorized Birmingham in 1903. Protests. After Ruby Bridges, the first black girl to attend a white school, began her education, 1960. British fascist Oswald Mosley on an attempted march through Manchester, 1962. The early 1920s saw the peak of sexual liberation and freedom. Numerous unions and organizations began to emerge, promoting a new cultural value, the cult of the nude body. St. Nicholas Parade in Austria. St. Nicholas rides a white horse while Krampuses warn children to behave. A man is strapped to the electric chair in Addis Ababa prison, Ethiopia, 1950. A Dallas police officer holds the rifle that, according to the investigation, was used to kill John Kennedy, 1963. High jump at the 1908 London Olympics. KGB officers arresting radar and aviation engineer Adolf Tolkachev, USSR, 1985. He managed to pass 54 top-secret developments to the United States, receiving in total 718,500 rubles and about $2 million kept in a foreign account for a possible escape. Tolkachev was executed in 1986. An emaciated former prisoner of Buchenwald concentration camp drinks from a metal bowl shortly after the camp's liberation, April 1945. A White Girl and a Slave Girl, 1880, Brazilian Empire. The appearance of the legendary meme, People's Friendship University, 1967. A photo that shows the true size of the Titanic's propellers. Miss Italy knocks out Miss Sweden in an international women's boxing match in Stockholm, 1949. Liverpool goalkeeper Ray Clements patiently waiting during a match against West Ham, while a dog expresses its opinion of his performance. England, 1972. This roller coaster was designed specifically to end one's life painlessly and easily. According to the creator's design, it can be used for humane capital punishment. The creators of the first VCR video cassette recorder with their VCR 1956. Patient undergoing treatment for mental illness, Germany, 1890. 39-year-old cowboy from Texas, Clarence Haley, whose image was used in Marlboro cigarette advertisements, 1949. Before painkillers were available, doctors would distract patients with loud music. In this 1922 photo, a dentist's assistant is drowning out a patient's groans with a radio. Group portrait of a women's hockey team, Canada, 1916. Family shelter for atomic war, USA, 1961. Presumably the last photograph of Adolf Hitler, taken 2 days before his death. Hitler inspects the ruins of the Reich Chancellery, April 28, 1945. Love is stronger than all prejudices. British sergeant training the Army of Moms during the Battle of Britain, 1940. A police bulletproof vest variant for the police, Germany, 1930. Integrating black students will turn schools into jungles, into racial jungles, said a young Joe Biden in 1977. A penguin concert during Shackleton's expedition, Ross Ice Shelf, Antarctica, summer 1908. The paradox was that the penguins only reacted to classical music. 1900s jazz did not interest them. The birds reacted most keenly to the violin. Hennessy Cognac Tasters, 1952. 1865 portrait of Brigham Young, second president of the Church of Latter-day Saints, founder of Salt Lake City and the first governor of Utah. Young had 57 children with 56 different wives. Guillaume Duchenne stimulates muscle contractions with electrical probes to artificially induce facial expressions, circa 1862. USA, 1960. Since many older American cities lacked swimming pools, entrepreneurs devised a mobile, pay-to-use swimming pool on wheels. Fijian chief Udre Udre, the most gluttonous cannibal in the world. He ate nothing but human flesh and consumed no fewer than 900 people throughout his life. These unique shots capture Berlin residents trying to save zoo animals amid the thunder of Soviet artillery. Germany, 1945. Whether you felt happy, annoyed, or just entertained, drop a comment and tell me why. Keep an eye out for the sequel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See ya.